Questers pre-show Tuesday for the show The Curse of Oak Island, episode number 20. Only 5 episodes left, guys. 5 episodes left for season 11. How is everybody doing? We had a little bit of snow here this weekend. Only about 18 inches. Lordy 40. Holy Muyan. Here we go. Got to get my hellos in here. We got the first guy that came in. Hello, Jeff M. Hello, Patricia. Hello, Joe. Hello, we are watchers. There's Tammy Williams. There's Lards. Hello, Gary. Hope you're doing okay. Hello, Gloria. Hello, Luann. Hello, Sydney. Hello, Ashley. Hello, Judy. Hello, Vicky. Facebook side, YouTube side. Hello, Super. Ready for a episode 20 show tonight. Wet and Wild. We saw some on the promos. Hello, Michael. Doing good, Michael. Doing good. Hello, Diane. People are getting the notices. I'm in. If you got a notification bell, it's great to have. Sometimes I'm early, but I'm never late. If I'm late, I'm not on. You know what I mean, guys? Tonight's episode, Wet and Wild. The team has reached target depth in the garden shaft, but their drilling efforts may be thwarted by the legendary flood tunnel. Hello, Robert, on the Facebook side. Hello, Professor. Hello, Carol. Yep, episode 20 tonight. Maybe they did hit a flood tunnel, but then when you foam up a whole shaft down 100 feet, all those leaks that used to come in from the top or the bottom are now forced to go to the weakest point. So maybe it's not from a flood tunnel. Maybe it's just from pressure. I hope we find out tonight. Hello, David. Yep, and if you like the podcast, give us a like, a thumbs up, hit that notification bell, subscribe. They're free to subscribe. YouTube loves that. They'll show more of my shows. And also, if you can support, we really need the support if you can. Thank you. Thank you so much. Hello, Robin. Hello, Gustavo. And Robert. And Tim. And Brenda. And I hope we get some clarification, maybe, on that silver piece we saw last week. Is it silverware that I think it is? Maybe we'll find out a little bit of that tonight. Michael, Judy will be with me. Ooh, will be with me tomorrow night. She's the synopsis queen. And she'll have all the facts and figures like Daniel and Charlotte does tomorrow night in our regular podcast. Hello, Scottish diggers in the house. John Fisher. And tomorrow's podcast, you'll learn all about what happened in tonight's episode, Wet and Wild. Very good, Eric. Hello, Linda. Everybody just getting done with supper. I know the West Coast, it's only 3 o'clock in the afternoon. But we'll have to find out more things that were going on from last week. They really didn't give us much dating last week. Hello, Hook. Thanks for coming in. Hello, Scott. Thanks for coming in. I was looking also for some dates on that notched out wood that they said was the floor, but we didn't get any wood dates from that. So I was looking for some important dates that they didn't give us much. Yup, Tammy, Baltimore. That ship hit that bridge and down it came. Always something every day. I saw that on Facebook. Next week, April 2nd. Yup, Robin, the dates and sources. April 2nd's episode 21 is called Straight as an Arrow. Very, very interesting. April 2nd's episode next week, episode 21, is called Straight as an Arrow. So, Wet and Wild, they're talking about the flood tunnel. Straight as an Arrow, no idea, but they give us a little bit of insight from the headings. Yup, Eric? Oh, Gary. 5 more episodes. Lordy 40. Holy Muyan. The year is flying by. Season 11's flying by quick. Again, I want to thank all my supporters that support me through YouTube membership, Patreon, and just with donations. I thank you so much. Tomorrow night, I mention you all by name. That's how much you mean to me. Hoping Muyan Osprey comes back to us. Hello, Deborah. How are you? But I just don't know. You'll be surprised as much as I would be. We got no pictures at all, except when Dave went up there. No boats in the water, no planes in the sky, no nothing right now. But yet, if they're all underground, what are you actually going to see on the island right now? Nothing. Really nothing. So as things change, I hope we get some aerial footage. But we're not going to keep on showing you the same aerial footage if there's nothing going on. Of course, we'll get something from the start of the season, I hope, just to see the island. Because we don't know if they're done in the swamp or they're going to be digging now for the Ark of the Covenant and looking for the Tree of Life. So we're going to be digging holes like gophers all over the place. And then they'll leave us hanging with a big hook. Hello, Diane. Thanks for coming back. April 9th. Very good, Gloria. Is Abbey Road. It says they're in Europe. Okay. Alrighty. Navy Dogs. Thank you for coming back. Also, this person has not contacted me. So, if this person does not contact me at the end of this podcast, tomorrow night, we will have a double giveaway. That's right, folks. A double giveaway. We'll be giving away 2 books of the Jerusalem Files and 2 Quest of Oak Island baseball caps. If he does not contact me at the end of this podcast, that's the way it goes. 7-day wait, we redraw. So 2 hats tomorrow, 2 books tomorrow. Well, it's going to be a special night. I will be posting that in my promotional statement tomorrow, but I wanted to tell you live there'll be 2 hats. And if this guy Google F Played ad does not contact me after this podcast is done, 2 and 2. Double your pleasure, double your fun. Hello, Graham. Hello, Rebecca Harrison. All right, just want to touch on this. What did you guys think last week about that design that looks like Oak Island and looks like it's got the property lines on it? I think they did the property lines in 1762. We got a special presentation from Daniel and Charlotte that I'll show tomorrow. And I also have a little presentation that they did, the high-low special report that will be seen in a little while before we get it in our promo screenshots. But Tammy, this is just an old book that they're looking for. Okay, John, I'll have to take a look at it. That they're looking for the book, yeah, but they're looking for the book that has the scribing in the margins. I mean, you can find these books online and everything else, but they're looking for the exact book that has notations and codes in it, not just a regular book. You know what I mean? They got notations in the margins. So that's what they're looking for. And if they haven't found this book since the summer of 2023, with Corian looking and all their staff looking, because, I mean, we get it, 6-7 months later. If they can't find it, how the heck are we going to find it? You know what I mean? Yup, Ashley. And if somebody's got it, because these pictures came from it, they'll ask a king's ransom for it. And a lot of forgers out there. So there's a lot of forgers. So team, fellowship, watch out. So I'm saying if they didn't find it since 2023 in the summer, Kathy, that's a paper hook. You know what I mean? But somebody's got to have something, and maybe they find it. But let's find where the gold and silver signatures are coming from in the baby blob. Let's do that first. Very good, Tammy. Very good. So we'll see what happens with that. They're trying to tie the Vikings in with the Templars. We'll have all the screenshots ready for you tomorrow. All the analysis ready for you tomorrow. Hello, Ray Cugletta. All right, ready? Okay, I'm going to play a presentation from Daniel Spino and Charlotte Wheatley on the high whole silver special presentation. So the world can see it live. Hello, Ken. Yup, Navy. Just bled and bled and bled over hundreds of years. We don't know. Show us something. So let me know if it comes out okay. Let me know if you can hear it. We got our man Raymond on it. So just let me know in chat if it's playing okay. This is from Daniel and Charlotte Wheatley. Here we go.
Special Report, High Ho Silver War Room Analysis, John Edwards by the Oak Island Compendium. Researcher John Edwards presented his theory regarding a Freemason/Rosicrucian/Knights Templar association and believes he has discovered information that indicates that Masonic code was encoded in certain writings. He believes this code and information was hidden and suggests that the Ark of the Covenant was buried on Oak Island. Edwards is a teacher from Maryland who stated that he spent the last 30 years studying symbology relating to Freemasonry/Rosicrucianism/Templars. Edwards claims this Masonic code is hidden and only recognizable by fellow Masons. He references a Masonic song and refers to portions of it and suggests that the Ark of the Covenant was hidden on Oak Island. The song is listed as Royal Arch Ode, 19th century, with no other information given about it. The compendium has investigated and learned that the ode was written by James Gates Percival, 1795 to 1856. Mr. Gates was a writer-poet but worked primarily as a geologist. It appears that Mr. Gates wrote this Masonic ode but wasn't a Mason himself. Percival was described as very shy and withdrawn and preferred to be by himself. Most likely this would preclude him from being an active participating member of Freemasonry. Mr. Gates' background doesn't seem to suggest he had any involvement with Oak Island, but he did visit Nova Scotia at one point as a brief advisor to a mine in Londonderry for the extraction of iron ore. Interestingly, one of the owners of the mine was Charles Dixon Archibald, who at one time was the head of the Truro Company on Oak Island. Although it doesn't appear Mr. Percival was involved with the island itself. Edwards goes on to talk about a couple of books that he feels have the hidden Masonic code in them. He refers to the works of Josephus Flavius, published in 1812, and the Holy Week, published in 1763. The latter was in French. Edwards shows some examples and abbreviations used as code. Then a very interesting picture and description are shown. It apparently comes from another French book entitled Instructions générales en forme de catéchisme by A. Avignon, 1824, that is not owned by Edwards. A sketch of what appears to be Oak Island is depicted. This sketch is very interesting, but when exactly it was sketched is the big question. It shows what appears to be Oak Island with lines that indicate possible lots, a ship pointing towards the swamp, and a box-like figure pointing to the Judres Cove area. Also, the term FLX 157 is listed. Compendium investigations seemed very doubtful of the authenticity of this sketch until we learned the following information. What was mentioned next was perhaps the most significant part of the entire presentation in the opinion of compendium investigations. The names of Daniel Dyson and John Eason were mentioned in relation to this sketch and the previously mentioned book. John Eason, a Scotsman, came to Nova Scotia from London in 1737 as master artificer to the British Army garrison at Annapolis Royal. An artificer was a military mechanic who carried out repairs. He was attached to the Ordnance, Artillery and Engineer Service to be employed in the construction of military materials as well as repairs. He received land and a mill that he operated for grist and lumber. He also worked with Dyson and Company, merchants of Annapolis Royal, and later became a partner with the company. Daniel Dyson carried on the largest mercantile business conducted by any person or firm in the county of Annapolis in the middle of the 18th century. Apparently, Dyson and Company had cooperative relations with the French, Acadians, and the Micmac, and participated in commercial transactions and trade between Annapolis Royal, New England, Halifax, and the French at Louisbourg. These transactions with the French involved contraband trade. Eason and Dyson were Freemasons and part of the first Masonic Lodge of Nova Scotia. Their business partner Erasmus Phillips was also Grand Master. In December 1757, Eason was captured by an Acadian Micmac war party during a raid on Annapolis Royal and taken as a prisoner of war, and remained in Quebec until 1759. Interestingly, the head of the war party was Brossard de Soleil, the famous Acadian freedom fighter and privateer, who is suspected of possible involvement with Oak Island. Years later, Eason was in Boston at the time of the Boston Tea Party and wrote home to his son James in December 1773, briefly describing the event. During the course of their business dealings, Dyson and Eason were involved with Joshua Morga. Compendium Investigations believes that Morga was involved with a smuggling operation that used Oak Island as a transfer and storage location. It's documented that Morga failed to acquire insurance on a ship called the Wren that was owned by Eason, Dyson, and Erasmus Phillips. The ship was lost, and the three men wanted to be compensated by Morga, who was in charge of the voyage. Morga agreed and paid the debt. Morga had been made the victualler to the Royal Navy, managing the British supply of provisions at Louisbourg, which it's likely how he became involved with Eason and Dyson. In 1749, Morga moved from Louisbourg to Halifax. Morga was engaged as a merchant, rum distiller, victualler, slave trader, smuggler, and privateer. Governor Edward Cornwallis confronted Morga about his suspicious business practices, which included trading with the French at Louisbourg. Morga had powerful allies and escaped this scrutiny. Another one of Morga's close associates was Jonathan Prescott, the Oak Island lot owner. Morga had many business dealings in the Mahone Bay area. Morga also was a Freemason along with Eason, Dyson, and Prescott. It's very likely that Eason and Dyson not only knew about Oak Island, but Eason possibly worked there at some point with his artificer carpentry experience. The mention of these two men in association with the sketch of Oak Island opens up a distinct possibility that the Masonic code that was used involved smuggling and Oak Island. Compendium Investigations is continuing this research and will update you with more information as it is discovered. We also have parallel research that seems to connect with this line that will be brought to you very soon. Please visit www.theoakislandcompendium.com for this article and our other content regarding the Oak Island mystery. Good day from the Compendium. Daniel and Charlotte.
Very, very good. Thank you so much, Daniel. The only thing that throws me off in that old book is one thing. Oh, hello, Graham. Hello, Russell. Hello, Gary. And hello, Christopher, to the podcast. It just throws me off if that's a historical sketch. Thank you, Connors. Hello, Woody. Hello, Virginia. If that's an historical sketch of Oak Island, Daniel, why is there lot lines on it? It wasn't surveyed till 1762, Daniel. So that sort of throws me off, guys. What do you think of that? Hello, Terry Poole. The lot lines. Why would they even do that? Hello, Tara. Way back when. Makes no sense to me. Kind of, they're looking for a special book with scribing things in the margins and all that. No sense of buying a book, or, I mean, you buy what you want to buy. But they're looking for one special book that has notations in the margins. I mean, if they haven't found it, like I told them earlier, from the summer of 2023 till now, that's why they're reaching out to everybody. That book's going to be like finding a needle in a haystack, like one member said. Hello, Lon. Hello, Gary. So I'm saying, if they're putting lines on the island It's got to be from 1762 forward. You see where I'm going with that? There's Daniel. I knew he'd come up with something. The sketch was completed sometime after, 1824. Dyson and Easton were believed are connected to one of the other books, not the 1824 sketchbook. Thank you so much, Professor. Hello, Andre. They drew has only 16 lots instead of 32. I hear you. Yep, Luann, you wonder when the drawing was done since the timeline doesn't add up. Indeed, not buying it, Navy Dogs. They're not going to pull the wool over our eyes over here. We got 11 years of theories. What do you guys think of this theorist, John Edwards? What do you think of John Edwards? I guess we'll see him a little bit more tonight. "11 years of theories. 11 years of theories. What do we got? What do we got to show for it? A lot of history, a lot of surface finds, and some things that they haven't explained yet. Hello, Robert. Yup, Jim James. I got my garden lights on. I'll post it in Discord after. Me too, Navy Dogs. If this goes into 12 seasons, boy, oh boy, we need some expendables, as David Blankenship, my friend, would say. I believe that, Tim. They seem to jump from one expert to another, dropping some for others, yeah. Never a negative theorist. The storyline they would never put on somebody, not negative, but they got to go by scientific proof that, hey, maybe there isn't nothing there. Maybe there is something there. I'm only the messenger. But I believe if there was something there, it's not there anymore. If the Ark of the Covenant's there, supposedly the angels are guarding it, and they guard it for life. So you don't want to get near that thing if it's anywhere. The angels are guardians. Also, the word angels, and they are warriors. So there's no way the Ark of the Covenant's there. Like I said, I'll eat one of my Quest hats if they pull the Ark of the Covenant out of Oak Island. There's the professor. Trying to stretch to Easton and Dyson was our original idea. We feel now it's one of the other books that had the code that mentioned Dyson and Easton. Could be. Happy hunting. I don't know how you're going to find that out, but Daniel and Charlotte, they're on a mission. They're on a mission with facts to back it up. So if anybody challenges those guys, you better be ready to back it up to the hilt. Great, Andrea. Hello, Bob Rush. Yup, Ashley, I'm with you. It's guarded by the angels. There's no way, or wherever it is, it's not on Oak Island. Maybe we can find some breadcrumbs of something that came over there, but as far as I know right now, we have a lot of different dates on coins, looking for the wood dates from the garden shaft that they pulled up, the big planks. Even though they're saying 1632. All right, well, let's find something. You know what I mean? Let's find something. And Bob Bryce says, I don't know anyway. Yeah, they get us pretty confused. Buttons. Yep, I hear you, Scott. But people are still watching. It's the #1 cable show on History Channel. Now, if you have the #1 show on History Channel, Lordy 40, holy Muyan, you got to give us something. Yep, Tim. Dave said that he has his father's book ready to publish. So I'd like to see what Dan had to say on most of this stuff from years ago. I agree. All right, let's bring up some promo screenshots of tonight's episode, Wet and Wild. They're talking about a flood tunnel. No idea, Pirate. No idea. I hear you, Playground. So this guy, Jen Edwards, says it's buried within the Tree of Life and it's built into Nolan's Cross. No, Davy. Navy dogs. Dan thought it was a Spanish treasure, and Fred thought it was a ship buried in a swamp. So why didn't he dig out the whole swamp? I have no idea. And John's telling Fred Nolan's son, let's dig there. On X marks the spot. So when they go dig there, they do find a boulder, but the island is full of boulders, as you know, as being with me for over 11 years, going on 12 years. I still want to see the week that the guy from Germany did his 3D scanners of the whole island. What happened to that information? Poof, gone. Here's Vicky. Are many of your viewers aware that in 1917/18, the 1st Jewish Army Battalion was trained in Windsor, Nova Scotia, just 40 miles from Oak Island? Remember, the Ark went before the armies of ancient Israel. Thank you, Vicky. The professor. There must have been something in these codes to suggest why Edwards thinks that. Or is he just using Petter's Tree of Life and just going a little farther? We don't know. Here's a better close-up at that boulder. But we don't know what part of the Tree of Life this boulder is. This is in the promo they showed us last week for tonight. So tonight, keep your ears and eyes open. See what kind of information we can get out of them. We'll find out what it is. There's Jack. Wow. Oh, my. Yes, Daniel will show that post live tomorrow night. Daniel and Charlotte have a special presentation. And also, since there are more people in here, tomorrow night, since the person who won the hat and book last week has to the end of this podcast to contact me. There might be a limit on his language, or he's way out there in the country, internationally. But the rule is after 7 days or up to the podcast, if you have not claimed your prize, it will roll over to a redraw tomorrow. No way. So tomorrow night's drawing will be for 2 Jerusalem File books by Christopher Morford and Corian Mall, and 2 Quest of Oak Island baseball caps, free anywhere in the world. So tomorrow it's double your pleasure, double your fun. Jim, have they started work on the island? Just internally in the office, I have had no pictures, nothing as far as on the island. No more mugs. Postage is going out of the way, going crazy. If I'm giving away almost 30 hats or 35 hats, you got postage, you got the hat cost, a lot of money involved. So I need your guys' help. You got it, Gloria. 2 books, 2 hats tomorrow. Double your fun tomorrow. I'll be posting it to be posted, so I'll remind you guys. And Judy will be with me tomorrow night, the queen of the synopsis. And also, you remember this copper artifact that they found? I still don't know what was in the box when they teased this in the beginning of season 11, that white box, they said this belongs in a museum. I still don't know what was in that box. You can always join my YouTube membership, Andrea. It's I think the cheapest one is, what's it, $7.99 a month. It's only $2 a week. And YouTube takes 30% of that. And plus I got to put it on my income, so there's not much left. They found it on lot. I can't remember what lot they found this on. I got to look back. They'll probably remind us tonight. And they're tying it into the Vikings. We're looking at a copper piece, Tammy, that they found in the beginning of the season. Thank you, Navy. Like I said, you always can support. You can hit the thanks button. You can always send a super chat right live as we're doing it. There's lots of ways to donate, and I thank you if you do. There's Daniel. That's the copper sheeting that the expert thought it may be Aztec. We said Celtic or Norse. Very, very good. You got it, Tammy. There it is. Found on lot 8. So that Viking piece possibly was found on lot 8, Tammy, that Rick is saying on the promo that we'll find out tonight what's happening. This is a closer look at the same copper sheathing that we're looking at, just a little closer. Curves and knobs and buttons sort of looking, bubbles. What it is, they say this could be identified as Viking. And that's what they're saying. We got to watch out for tonight. What's going on? Tim, the cross was found on Smith Cove. right in Smith's Cove. Yeah, it looks very old, Navy. Yeah, very old. Now here, Tammy, we're back into the garden shaft. I think they're at 106 feet, and the water started coming in faster and faster as they were drilling down there. And here's a picture of the drill that they got down there. I don't know if they're going deeper or now they're going horizontal. I can't tell if it's a vertical drill or a horizontal drill, so we don't know if it's coming in from the side or it's coming in from the bottom. We will find out tonight. Yep, Judy, on the beach at Smith's Cove. You got it. And here they're telling Rick, Dumas is telling Rick, we're showing the garden shaft. We may have hit a flood tunnel. But if they got the big enough pumps, maybe they can keep up with it. I don't know if they're doing this towards the end of the season, they might shut it down. We'll find out tonight. Who knows? And here they're yelling up the shaft and yelling down the shaft, Tammy. They're showing the bottom of the shaft filling up full of water, murky water. Better get out of there. They just have to get a bigger pump, more gallons per minute. And they have to figure that all out. But I don't know how late in the season this started. Hello, Patricia. Thanks for coming in. And Judy will be with us tomorrow night. She's the queen of the synopsis at 6:45. I'll have the screenshots. Daniel's got a special, and Charlotte has a special presentation. Then they have their analysis on the artifacts. So we'll have a lot of information to go through tomorrow night at 6:45 p.m. Eastern Time. Men were shouting to get out of the shaft. And there's the piece that I thought was in the white box that Gary showed Matty Blake in the beginning and said, this belongs in a museum. But then I think they put everything in little white boxes. Could be a flood tunnel. But I'm saying once you foam or styrofoam this whole 106 feet shaft, where the water used to come in is bouncing off that. So it's just going to the weakest point, which is probably the bottom now. So there's a lot of pressure there. But Dumas Mining knows what they're doing. It's not the first tunnel that they were getting water pumped into it. You know what I mean? So if we find out what this piece was on lot 8, white box jeweled artifact, will we find out about this jewel? I'm showing a blue jewel, Tammy, that they also teased us with that was never presented. Lordy 40, holy Muyano. Daniel and Charlotte have a special presentation on this that I'll show tomorrow. And that's all I got for that. So another important thing is, Corian said we have 25 episodes left this year. So you count them down. Tonight's 20. We got 5 more episodes after tonight for the season to be ending. I don't know if it's going to be a 2-hour season finale. I don't know how many drilling downs are going to be in between until they shut down. I have no idea. So, like I said, 25 episodes. Corian gave us that information last week. It's about all I got for tonight. We'll be with Judy tomorrow night. Yup, Playground. They just don't show the rest of the island. Nope, they're just not interested. And there's Daniel. We're not endorsing that sketch as authentic. I don't blame you. We're studying aspects of it and we'll give a final opinion. Yeah. Beautiful, Daniel and Charlotte. Gloria, you're getting more information than I'm seeing. Drilling down on the 18th. Drilling down on April 9th. Oh, my lordy 40. Well, we'll have to put it all together. If we find out the facts, then we'll present it tomorrow. If there's drilling downs, what dates, April, whatever. And again, there'll be a giveaway tomorrow night. 2 hats, 2 books. So double your pleasure tomorrow. Be with us tomorrow night at 6:45 p.m. Yeah, you guys are the best. Hit that notification bell on YouTube. You know, and see when I'm coming on. See when we're popping on and off. So enjoy the show tonight, 9 p.m. Eastern Time in the USA. But members, what do I always tell you? Remember, members, always go forward. You may get a setback in your life, but just believe in yourself. Believe in your dreams, no matter how old you are, for tomorrows are never given. In this nutty world, my God, craziness is happening, crazinesses. The world needs a ton of prayers, billions of tons. So as my friend Jan always tells me, you keep smiling, because you never know what that other person's going through. Keep that smile on your face. You stay safe. You stay strong. You stay positive, mentally and physically, everyone. Please. Thank you for joining me tonight. Judy will be with me tomorrow night for our long Wednesday podcast of tonight's episode. I hope you enjoyed the show. Thank you. Take care and bye-bye.